It's Nerding Out with the House of L. And I'm back with a few members of House of L. Dizzidevil, Papa Smurf, mcscrubs, and Clash of Clams. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
What's going on?
Not too much. We're here. I thought it was this past week in House of L, we did a push. And, you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the Clash of Clans community lately. And I figured, let's get back to playing the game. And so I thought, let's do a push episode since we all have been there and we haven't done it for a while. So, and these guys are all members of House of L. And used to talking on TeamSpeak now, which has been awesome. So, Dizzidevil, why don't you go first, introduce yourself, where you're at in the game, and we'll just kind of go down the list. And
I'm Town Hall 9. I'm almost max on all my defense. And my heroes, my queen's at 16, and the king's at 15. And
how long have you been playing?
About a year and a half now.
Okay.
About a year and a half.
And you've been with House of L for?
I was in about 6 months ago, and then I did a little walkabout there and checking out One Hive, trying to be elite, but that didn't work out. So, and then I came back and just kind of working on my defenses and doing this push.
And back in the wars. Papa Smurf. And big congrats to Papa Smurf, newest co-leader.
Thank you. That was awesome and unexpected, but I guess you put in the work. I guess it pays off, right?
Yep. And so where are you at in the game?
I am a pretty much fully maxed Town Hall 9. I've got a level 20 20 queen. I've got a level 25 archer king, and I like hearing lava counts. So I've got 120 lavas.
Nice.
I actually, I haven't been playing as long as a lot of the people that I hear, especially a lot of people in the clan. I started September 1st of last year.
Wow.
So I'm still coming up on my my 1 year Clash anniversary.
Very nice.
But I started the game, absolutely fell in love with it. I actually downloaded the game, played it for a couple days, hated it, and it sat there for about 3 months. And then all my friends were, a couple of my friends were sitting around a table talking about, I got dragons and all this. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about, So they told me what it was. I was like, I downloaded. I didn't like it. And they're like, man, trust me, give it another shot. So I did. And after a week, I was hooked. Not even a year. And I've got like a 900 million gold grab. So Yes, I have zero life. I pretty much work and clash. That's about it. But I joined the House of L.
You have a higher gold grab than I do.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm at like 890 something. I'm wanting to hit that billion mark before the year's up. I think that would be a pretty cool accomplishment.
I've been playing almost 3 years and 750, so I swear.
Right. That just means you have more life than me. That's all that means.
I've been hitting elixir.
Yeah. I joined House of L about, what's it been now? About 3 months. As soon as I got to like Town Hall level 6, I immediately went and searched for podcasts. And at that time, you guys were the only ones. Now there's 84 of them. But I listened to it every episode and I loved it. And I was definitely a hardcore farmer, and I just wanted to get better in war. And the clan I was in just was not cutting it. And I just heard you on the podcast, and I originally just wanted to come over and soak up some tips, but you know how L is. I think it's a lot like Kent Farmhouse and the other ones. If you visit for more than a day or two, it turns into home.
Yep.
And it has. It's the best clan ever, and I'm never leaving. It's going to take dynamite to get me out of this clan. So, or you could hit a button, one or the other.
Actually, I can't. Sass is holding the leadership for me, so I can travel.
That's right. Well, I'll make sure not to piss him off then.
Yeah. mcscrubs, who, I don't know if some of you guys might have tuned in. He was on on the SOAS podcast. Correct, MC?
No, they mentioned me. I haven't. This is the first podcast
we were on the Twitch together. That's what it was.
Yeah, we went on the Twitch. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you at? Co-leader, House of L?
Yes, I am. Appreciate that. I'm a Town Hall 9, like the rest of us. I have a level 20 Barb King, a 17 Archer Queen. Since Smurf decided he was going to talk about his walls, I'm going to check out my walls. I've got more than he does.
Yeah, I think you got me beat.
Yeah, I've got 135 lavas.
So nice.
Yeah. I know the walls don't do much anymore, but I like grinding them because they look nice, and as long as I stay ahead of Smurf, I'm good.
I'm coming for you. On 28, I'm coming for you. And how long you been playing?
It'll actually be a year, a week from today, exactly.
Oh, wow. Happy Clash anniversary.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Had loads of fun. I got into the game because my dad was playing it, actually.
Oh, really? Is he still?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he just went Town Hall 9.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Now you have something in common, something to talk about at family gatherings.
Yes, much to my mother's displeasure.
But crazy. And Clash of Clams.
Yeah, I'm a Town Hall 9, like the rest of us here. I don't have as many lava walls as Scrub or Smurf. I just put down my 93rd lava wall today. I have 20 heroes and max defenses. I started playing in April of 2014, but I got real serious this year, right around January, and I really turned on the afterburners. I also have a Clash family. Both of my younger brothers and my dad play, and all of them are Town Hall 10s. So
nice. Quintus.
Yeah,
right?
Quintus. Yeah, my little brother joined the clan today to check out some of the attacks.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm anxious to see, because he was asking when he was there about the single infernos, and we'll get into that because we'll talk about the push and what we've seen on the push and how things have changed post update, that kind of stuff, and the single infernos. He was asking about that on the golems. So
right.
So I'm anxious to see how that turned out.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it turned out. I think your suggestion was very good to bring the Giants to try and tank for it.
Oh, it's nasty.
I have been in the House of L for all of 3 weeks, and I kind of joined just to say hello because I'm a big fan of the podcast. It's crazy that I'm on here right now, but I came in just to say hello to the guys. I was on a very short walkabout, or at least that's how it started. I joined, and everyone treated me so great, and I'm never going back.
Yeah, you guys, all you nines just kind of like meshed together as soon as you joined up, and there's a bunch of people joined about that time, I think, too. Like there was a few new faces, I think, that came in and been really like just working together, and you can probably hear my dogs barking in the background at nothing. So just bear with. But so we did a push. How'd you guys do?
I made it to champs for the very first time.
As a TH9.
As a TH9, and I struggled at the 2,800 mark. Was the hardest part of it. Trying to get past 2,850 was my challenge.
And that's what, Masters 2?
Yeah, Masters 2.
Oh, but
it's real.
Oh, go for it.
It's real psychological the first time you get to champs. I was there a couple months ago. This is my third or fourth time, but the first time you're getting there, you start getting up in Masters 2, and it's really all in your head. And we were all rooting for you the whole time, Diz.
I appreciate that.
But, once you get there, it just really is, you feel so great, and you get those gems, and you can spend them on whatever you want. It's a great feeling. And then the next time you go back, it feels like a walk in the park,
Well, I'm not leaving until I beat you, your personal best.
I wish you will.
Where'd you get Diz? Because you got up there right away, didn't you?
I made it up to, I think it was 32, 34, I believe. Okay.
And then Papa beat. So there was a bet for the top Town Hall 9. I said a $10 iTunes, which Papa didn't know about. I should never have mentioned anything. And so you all of a sudden burned ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were down in Masters or Crystal, and then like you just fired right up there.
Yeah, no, I was farming in gold, and the push started. I think we did what Wednesday to Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I had a previous personal best of 3250, and that was really hard for me to get there because as a 9, and now this is post update, so you get to see more 9s. I think the update has helped pushing. I think it's helped 8s and 9s. And I think it's hurt 10s because I hear a lot of guys that are 10s now saying that they just never see 9s, and used to they would see at least some. But it's definitely has helped me. So I just started pushing, and I just got my Valks max to level 4.
Yeah.
So the first 2 times that I went to champ, it was pretty much the same. I would La Loon up until like mid Masters, and then I would switch to just a simple go wipe, and that got me there pretty easily. But with the comp that I'm using now, which is just golems, P.E.K.K.A.s, Valks, and then some max Wizzies in the CC. I don't know if I was just getting lucky or what, but I just started crushing it, and I actually got up to 3448 as a 9. So I was really, really happy with that.
Right on my heels this time.
Yeah. I mean, I was passing some of the 10s in the clan.
Amazing. So and Dizzy was at first too. I mean, like right. I think this was just like the last couple days, wasn't it? Like
I made it. I think I was at top 5 before everyone started climbing up into champs. Because DP was up there, Mailman,
yep,
DJ. They were already up in champs.
And MC, how about you? Did you stayed in Masters, didn't you?
Yeah, I made it to Masters and stopped. I was kind of chilling because I'm actually on vacation this week, and I wasn't expecting to see everybody pushing as hard as they were. I thought the push was going to be this week, so
it's the push fever. Is that why you took vacation?
No, I actually just had this vacation plan because it's close to my birthday, so kind of chilling. But yeah, no, I didn't boost at all. I was just kind of farming my way up. I have a real problem not farming because I ended up seeing a lot of good loot raids, and I'm like, I'm hitting this and this and this. So I definitely didn't make it anywhere out of Masters. So I'm actually still pushing.
Hard to pass that loot.
I kept seeing like 4,000 DE, and I was like, I am not passing this up. I don't care about the push that much. I'll get to Masters eventually. So I made it into Masters on the last day of the push.
See, I was hitting bases that had absolutely like zero loot. If they had cups, I was taking them for sure.
And so what were you guys? It's okay. So you were. I was push farming. I mean, I think I hit 3480, and I don't think I hit the 80. Maybe it was like the night before the push. I did a lot of farming, all the way up giant. Well, I was doing the jibe arch with a couple Velks and whizzes peppered in, depending, and running 2 heals, a jump, and freeze, and maybe it wasn't even a freeze, and a rage, and just powering in, taking the loot, town hall, and until I hit champ, which, before pushing, I always did the air attacks. So this was a really different kind of experience, because then I hit champ, and I thought, you know what, I'm making enough on the bonus. I can start doing golems, running the war attacks. Practice with those was losing way too much money, and switched to giants instead of a golem. So instead of 4 golems, I did 6 giants and then some Velks and things like that, and tore some stuff up. But
so were you seeing many 9s going up?
No, I was until I think right before champ. I think you guys are right, and people have talked about, it's very psychological, kind of, what you're going to hit. And I don't know, this time especially, it seemed like getting up to champ, I don't know if there's just more people there. I was surprised at the shitty bases that high.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then, go for it.
I'm running across like a lot of Town Hall 9s, but they're only worth like 1 cup, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
I'm just going past them.
And then, then I hit. I started running those war attacks and really kind of practicing. It was seeing a lot of the same bases. Really practiced the nexting, and then I started running out of Dark Elixir and had to be way more careful. But it was a really good learning experience. You almost forget, I think, how valuable it can be, because that's the closest to war attacks you can get.
Yes, it does. Even though at Town Hall 9 we're really not doing anything that we would do in war, it still does make you a better attacker. My first time going to champs, I was pretty much 2-starring everything all the way up, and then my second time to champs, I had a few more 3-stars. But my last time during this push, I was posting every replay. I think I ended up finishing up. I had like 13 3-stars, and these were all max Town Hall 9s. And it just I don't know. I guess practice makes perfect, but you just go over and over so much. I wish that we could. I've seen who was it? Dizzy that was doing like full war attacks, going against the bases, like actually coming in, killing the queen, and then doing hogs. I thought that was really cool.
Right.
Was that what you're using, Diz?
Yeah, it was. I just hogged my way up.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's all I did. I just hogged up. Well, actually, I was always requesting giants or a golem, and so I'd get the giants, right? Well, more giants than a golem, but that's exactly how I did it.
And so you were using what was your spell comp?
I was using 1 jump and 3 heals, and then the poison spell.
And so you would basically, so for people who don't, I mean, like, you can really kind of describe your attacks for people who might not really know. I mean, how many hogs were you taking in? How many?
I was taking, I believe it was 22 at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going in doing I wouldn't really lure though, because with the poison spell, I'd be throwing in the golem and the giants, and they'd get into the first compartment, and then I'd drop, if there was any Clan Castle troops, then I would just drop them, kill them. But the king and the queen were coming in, just a typical war attack, and then I'd be running in back end hogs.
And with the heals.
Yeah, with the heals.
Okay, and you saw 9s all the way up into champ.
Yeah, most of them. And then once I got into champs, that's where I ran into trouble, because the infernos were just frying my hogs.
Smoked bacon.
Yeah. Had to hit a lot of 10s after champs. Most of those 200 cups I had after champs, I was having to 2-star 10s, and that's why I was really surprised. But I want to tell this for any listeners out there, that if you're a Town Hall 9 and you don't think you can get to champs, I will tell you the comp that will get you there. And it is, if you have level 3 P.E.K.K.A.s and you have at least level 3 golems and maybe 15 minimum heroes, maybe even lower than that. If you just do a simple go wipe, 3 golems, 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, like 17 wizzies, 4 wall breakers, and a clan castle full of wizzies, trust me, use that comp, you will get to champs. It is not as hard as I thought. It was almost impossible, but it is really not that hard to get there. So just keep doing it, you'll get there.
What do they look for then on those attacks? Like,
you're looking for 9s, really. I mean, as a 9, you're just looking for the 9s with the most cups. You see a 9 that's got over 20 cups, you take it. And of course, as you go up, you're going to start seeing 9s worth 7 cups, and then it will at the end. Well, not the end, but once I hit champs, 5 cups was my limit. If I saw 9 with 5, I would take it, because most of those I was 3-starring. But yeah, up to champs, you'll find 9. I mean, my last push into the last few cups of champs, I saw an 8 that was worth like 34 cups, and I almost had a heart attack. Like, I could not believe it. So getting to champs it's definitely doable. If you haven't done it, go get your gems. Get your free gems.
Right.
2,500. Right?
2000.
2000.
Yeah, 2000.
But
So
I'm kind of more like Diz. I did not use a simple go wipe to get the chance.
Yeah. Listen to Clams. Listen to how he got there.
So
do it this way, but
from the first
Here's what I
time I
did.
got the chance, which was a few weeks before the update, which is great, because now that there's so many new leagues, getting a chance isn't that big of a deal, unfortunately. But my first time going up, I was getting really into the Queen Healer strategy to go get the Dark Elixir. It's been talked about on the show before. I believe it was Sass who was talking about it. So, the standard Queen Healer, and I thought to myself, why can't I use this and go in and take the Town Hall and get that star? Because I was getting really proficient at getting in and getting the Dark Elixir. And so I figured it was kind of the same thing. Just get the Queen in there and go for the Town Hall as opposed to going for the Dark Elixir. And so that's what I was doing. And the first time it was really a pretty serious struggle. I kind of felt like, I'm sure Diz did, that I was never going to get there. Once I hit Masters, I was, it's really psychological, as we said. But, the next button is your friend. I would next and next and next until I found a Town Hall 9. And I would hit it, get the Town Hall. And, once my Queen was 20, I would start getting the 50% a lot of the time as well. And then the update came, and I thought it was done because the Queen kept walking on me all around the base.
Oops.
And so I was like, well, there goes my favorite strategy, because I really think it's a lot of fun. And
well, what changed then? So did you first of all, what are you looking for in the 9 bases?
I would actually hit any Town Hall 9. I got really confident in my Queen Healer. The only thing that could stop it is if the CC had all balloons in it. The balloons would come out, and your Queen wouldn't have time to take them all out, and they would drop right on top of her, and she would die. So, there were a couple times I almost threw my iPad across the room because the Clan Castle hut was full of balloons, and I would still try and take it head on and lose. And then the Queen dies, and you got to wait extra long for your next raid, and it's a whole thing. But I was getting to the point. I was getting to the point where I could hit any Town Hall 9 before the update, and I wouldn't even have to think twice. If there were any cups involved, I would hit it, get the Town Hall, try for the 50%, and move up. And I eventually made it. And now, I'm getting back into it after the update. You just got to bring a few wall breakers and jump spells, and it's still tougher. She's not going exactly where you want her to. I was getting really used to the old Queen AI, so I guess I was kind of griping a little bit. But, if you bring in a few wall breakers and a couple jump spells, it's pretty much the same. And so I got back up doing the same thing. And then I got really jealous of Smurf's replays, and so I started doing his go wipe with a few Valks. And it pushed me above my all-time best, which is nowhere near as high as his, but I got to 32.58, something like that.
Nice.
So, it's great.
I never, I've talked to Sass and people have talked about I don't trust my Queen with anything. I've told you guys. Won't put her in charge of anything. But I didn't really realize, that strategy, what's awesome about that for pushing is that you can just do it over and over.
Right.
If the healer's there.
Yeah, I'm very impatient.
And it's no dark.
It takes way less time. Well, you got to bring the minions. I spend about 430 dark just on 43 minions in my current Queen Healer comp. But then, the bonus in Masters is over 1,000, so you make it back every time, even if it's all zeros in the loot category.
What if you brought with that, in that how many healers was it?
I bring 9 healers, 4 wall breakers, and 43 minions.
And what if you brought in as a backup? Because you said the loons, right?
Right.
What if you put in 2 giants in your comp, and if the loons came out, you hit the Queen's ability, drop the giants, hit the Queen's ability, let the balloons pound on them while the Queen does it.
Well, the problem is, and that's a great question. The problem is that the healers are going to start targeting those giants. And so what I ended up doing is I would send my king in if he was up. I wouldn't wait for him every time to do a raid. But if it came down to it and the balloons were coming out, I would send my king in, and I would use the ability real quick, right, just to get him deep into the base. And once the balloons started targeting the king, the Queen would start to take him out. So I've solved it in that sense a few times, but it's still a real risky move to try and take on a clan castle full of balloons.
Yeah, and the poison, it takes a while for them to, because basically you're saying you're going in and then you're gonna full force it, and then just depending on at that point what comes out, right? I mean,
Right.
you just
it all
start your
comes down
attack.
to the CC. But once you get used to it, the first few times I saw like a Max P.E.K.K.A come out of the CC, I would freak out because a Max P.E.K.K.A can take down your queen in an instant, just with one swipe. But then you start taking it on more and more, and I would just rage over the queen and healers. Raging the healers is big because they heal at 4 times the rate, something like that. It's crazy how
Are
quick
you serious?
Yeah, so what you do is you rage the healers, and they heal your queen all the way back up. And then you hit the ability, so the queen's hitting the Max P.E.K.K.A way harder, and a bunch of the archers are distracting the P.E.K.K.A. And so the Max P.E.K.K.A, it can be taken out pretty easily. Holy
shit, I didn't realize that the healers did more heal with the rage.
Yeah, so the rage really makes the healers crazy, If your queen's under heavy fire from 4 Teslas and a couple Expos, you got to throw a rage on the healers.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to start seeing this strategy more and more in wars. Clams was already shared a video of some of the other bigger war clans doing it, and I think it's going to be tweaked with. I think we're going to start seeing more and more of this attack strategy.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll try it.
Right?
What were you farming with, MC? Were you like?
I wasn't doing anything near as exciting as everybody else. I took 24 loons and 48 minions and 2 wall breakers, and I basically hit anything I saw that had loot, and I had no problems 2-starring everything on the way up.
What are you going for loot, though? Are you going for DE or are you going for everything?
Well, if it had DE, I was hitting DE, but I was running across raids with like 400,000 elixir.
Ooh.
And so I was like, I'm not turning this down because these loons are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And so I was just hitting everything, and I was talking with Clams on TeamSpeak. And before, my Archer Queen was basically my homegrown DE-fed wall breaker. And then they updated the Archer Queen, and now she's allergic to walls. So I was having to bring some wall breakers just to get her to go in towards the town hall and the DE storage. Because it was really starting to get frustrating because I was like, okay, I didn't have any problems 2-starring with this before the update. And now all of a sudden I'm getting like 60% 1-stars.
Oh, because you were working her on the walls.
Yeah. And now she was walking around. So I wasted like 3 days before I finally got a hold of Clams, and I asked him about it. And he was like, just bring 2 wall breakers and break her in. And I was like,
problem solved.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Drop 2 minions, bring 2 wall breakers. Gotcha. And then after that, I never even like looked back. Like, I think I did like maybe 10 attacks a day.
Okay.
And I was hitting anything with loot, and occasionally it had loot and lots of trophies. I was hitting 9s, 10s. It didn't really matter. Like, I was having no problems getting at least a star on anything.
Now that's something that like honestly like impressed me a lot, because you guys shared some replays where you're hitting 10s. And I thought, why can't, because there's always been the talk, right, about, okay, so, we're in a war, having the 9s go up and do the 10s, but then, then you have Infernos to deal with. How'd you deal with 10s when you had to hit them?
For me, Rage Loons across Inferno Towers, especially if I only run across one at a time, was really, really easy to take down an Inferno Tower. Because usually Inferno Towers are in the middle of the base. So by the time my loons got there, they were like in groups of 8. So I drop a rage spell over 8 loons. They drop 1 bomb, and that Inferno Tower's gone. Okay. I didn't have to worry about it.
And Papa, I think it was you that. What did you hit an Inferno with? And of course, you guys don't have any freeze, right? But I don't. It wasn't Hogs. What was it?
Was it in war, or was it during the push?
It was during the push, or maybe it was Diz. One of you guys shared a replay where you were taking down Infernos, and I said, "Well, maybe we should have our 9s be going up and hitting those."
Oh no, it was Smurf. He had Valks in his army.
Yeah, he 2-starred a nice town hall
Inferno.
I usually run from the 10s.
Next.
And I hate to sound dumb, but I did not know that, of course it's not a 10, but I didn't know that the Inferno Towers now negated the heal spell. So here I am sending my Valks in, healing the shit out of them, and under these Infernos, and everybody's like, those heal spells, they're not going to do anything, right? And I'm like, say what? And Clams is like, yeah, go click on the Inferno and look at it. And I was like, shit, okay.
But how many were you using? How many Velks?
8. Every push, I would just use 8.
See, because it won't heal 5 of them, but it'll heal 3 of them. So when you're
exactly.
So as you're getting, because I use the heal on, because I push with the giants and a few Velks. So I think it ended up being 4, 5, or 6. But when you've got giants and Velks together, and then they go under the Inferno, usually they're getting pounded by everything at that point. Expos, mortars, and you drop a heal on them. The ones that aren't in a lot of hit points. So if you've got a heal on them, even when they're under the Infernos, the 5 that are into one Inferno, the 5 that are being targeted by the Inferno, of course, their health is going down, but the other ones are being healed. And so by the time that the Infernos kill those, the other ones have full health to start being taken down.
Exactly. And we actually, we had this new guy. He joined the clan. When did Itachi join? Like 4 days ago?
Yeah, I think so.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
and
he came with 2.
Yes. And let me tell you, this guy is awesome. I think we're going to hold him captive. We're never going to let him leave.
Yeah, he's a good attacker.
He has come in. He has got some crazy Clash knowledge. And he actually told me something that I did not know about Valks at all. We were scouting out one of my war attacks today, and I always bring in 2 heals and a rage. And he said, no, what you want to do, you want to think about Valks more like hogs. He said, you don't ever need to rage Valks because the damage they do is strong enough. He said, all you have to do is heal them. He said, they work basically the same as hogs. So in this war attack, instead of taking in the rage, I just took in the 3 heals and literally I followed the Valks around the base. Just kept the heals on them the whole time. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So now, as I'm pushing, and I just got a star on a fully maxed Town Hall 10, and I was just using the heals, and these were away from the Infernos. But I can't wait to do my next war attack to just forget the rage. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm less and less a fan of the rage. But didn't you use a haste in that attack today?
I did, but I used it for the loons. It was a go velo, and I didn't really I kind of figured that they had drags and loons in the CC, and the poison is pretty much useless on that. So right. I'm not going to use a poison on it. So I brought a haste and just used it on the loons on the back end.
God, I wonder if that haste, having that haste in your, because we've been seeing, I'm sure everybody has been seeing like the drags in the CC a lot, which have been
yes,
fucking pricks.
It's changed everything. You have to look at the attack different. In the beginning, I was killing it just by raging the queen and the whizzies that I would get the funnel with, and that works a lot. But really, if you just make sure, again, this is more Itachi, you just make sure that those golems go in first. Just make sure that the loons and the drag will target on those golems. You've got nothing to worry about because they're going to target that, and your queen and your other troops are going to get there eventually.
Well, and I noticed today, because you used that haste, and I guess you used it on the loons, but there was Valks underneath when you were flying over.
Yes,
those things shot through there fast.
He actually had the idea of using it on the Valks. I didn't really try it. I was wanting just to save it for the loons, but I'm definitely looking into trying that for sure.
I'll tell you where I could see that working, like for a 10. Because that drag comes out right and it locks onto those. Because I've been throwing 4 or 5 into my attacks, and I could imagine if it locks on the golem to throw in just one haste and shoot them into the core past the dragon.
Oh, I see what you're saying because a lot of times it's hard. You got to leave the trail to get your king in. And your golems are so slow, but you need your golems to get in first. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Bring a haste to shoot the golems in to make sure that your heroes aren't targeted. I like that.
Or if it gets hung up, leave the golems there Well, I guess it would be the exact same thing, but it would shoot past that dragon, wouldn't it? I mean, because I can't believe how fast that haste made those things go.
Yeah, and it was a level 2. That's max for Town Hall 9. So I just got it finished right before war started. So it is. There's a big difference between level 1 and level 2.
Damn it. I'm going to have to upgrade my spell factory. I've been working on my earthquake.
Right. Got all these new shiny toys to play with.
I love the earthquake. You guys we've been team speaking, which is awesome for a clan. I'm
impressed with it.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
Because you can log on.
Completely changes the game.
Completely
changes
attack,
the game.
Nerd out.
Yep.
My mom called and told me she moved today, and I was like, "Oh, you moved already, huh?" And she's like, "No, you haven't checked in with me for 2 weeks." I'm like, "Oh shit, we got team speak."
There's many a nights that we've actually had to create a separate channel because it's turned into more, L After Dark more than War Talk. So
Yeah.
there's several times we're like, all right, guys, we're just going to make a war room over here. We can let everybody else have fun and keep talking.
Well, it's awesome because especially and you've heard me and Dirty Pirate DP who just talk about loving to listen to you guys talk about the war attacks and talk about those about how you hit the stuff because you guys are talking precision and things like that and.
It is so fun. It is so fun when you put 2 or 3 hours scouting a base and you've got 7 or 8 people in on it and you go in and you execute it. It is absolutely one of the best feelings ever. And that's why I do not understand the whole modding issue. It kills me. The reward would not be near what it was if I had any kind of extra software. It just wouldn't work.
Yeah, it'd take all the strategizing.
Exactly. And it's funny because we actually just went up against a clan. Probably one of the funnest wars I've been in a long time. We had our household Phantom, and we didn't know if he was going to get in because this clan, they had a feeder clan, and those are a lot harder because you have to get in and then work your way up. Yeah, he did it in 4 hours. Got in, worked his way up, main clan, done. And he would be posting screenshots of what they say, and they're saying stuff like, "Oh, what are these guys? They do a podcast? What a bunch of douchebags and all
rockets.
This stuff."
Douche rockets.
Yeah, douche rockets. Yes, douche rockets. Well, let's just say when we won that one, I have never wanted to win a war so much more in my life. That was awesome. And we need to give a little shout out to Hayden. He was in one of Phantom's older clans that he's in now. And his base, what did he ended up defending 0 stars against, was it 6 attacks?
6 attacks.
Yeah, he went 6 for 6 and no stars.
And he defended, and they were cussing his base so bad over there. Oh, it was awesome.
That's
awesome.
He was our number 5 Town Hall 10 in that war. And I think, let's see, they're number 1, they're number 2, they're number 4, they're number 5, and they're number 6 all hit him at least once. And the closest they got was number 4, got 48% on him, and that was it.
Yeah.
Did he change it up?
And the reason they did some, not a whole lot.
No, I mean, did he change it up? Right before that war, was it a new war base?
No, he actually, that's what he was laughing
base.
about when he came on, he said all this base, all it is a double jump to the core. That's all you need. And none of them did that. They all hit it from multiple angles.
Wow.
Yeah. But the whole reason I brought that up is because that clan, we found out by being in their team chat that there were several of them in there that modded. And it was funny to see them text because they would be like, "Oh, thanks for the replay on that." And this one guy, he was like, "Hey, I got 83% on 3 earlier this morning, so
me.
I should be able to tweak."
That was me.
That's right. But guess what? He didn't expect. He didn't expect that pig dog coming out of CC, did he? Not at all.
That pig in the sky.
That's right. You defended, right?
I think I got a 1. I think that he got the 1. But yeah, he was like, the chat said, "Yeah, we're up to 83, or I'm up to 83. I'm going to be able to do this." And you don't expect that dog.
So tell me something. How does that feel to cheat and then lose. I mean, that has got to be a real kick in the dick, man. It's got to be. That's got to be a horrible feeling.
Well, they were a bunch of douche rockets based on their chat.
Yes.
It was so funny, too, because we were looking at their bases, and it was like, okay, you X mod, I mod, whatever. Don't you think that you should test your bases out? Because how many people did we have that had 6-star wars? We had like five or six people.
We had five or six people had 6-star wars. Yep.
Right, and I was like, okay. Yep. It was just hilarious,
and it was tight. Yep. I mean, it was a tight war.
It was. It was like most of our other wars. You know, we kept it kind of close, but then at the end, we came in and cleaned up, and that seems to be what we do a lot. We do a lot of cleanup.
Well, because here's what I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, maybe talking with Matt, but what you guys do really well in war is you guys you have a strategy. You go in, you hit a 9 with a really solid strategy, and sometimes it just doesn't work, but you tweak and change it up and figure out, why it didn't work, and then you go in with that, roadmap. A lot of the time, sometimes it's changed up. And then you finish it out, and you work really well that way. And then you work really well by it, looking at the replays, figuring it out, strategizing. And, I think that's where like the skill really comes in, cause even like the attempts, like the first attempts are usually, you see how exactly what you were trying to do. And then maybe something surprised you, or there's skelly traps, or, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you go in,
Well, if you don't mod, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If you do it right, sometimes you got to do that. So.
Yeah, and see that happened this current war. I like to do air attacks. I tried hogs, and I can do them to some extent. But for the most part, Laloon is what I'm going to be doing in war. And Clams and I were on TeamSpeak last night talking about a base. And we had a good plan and everything, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to shatter Laloon this between home and first, drop the golems here. And everything was working perfect. And then a stupid pig dog popped out of the clan castle. And my archer queen just squirreled and just stared at the pig dog and wanted to shoot the pig dog. And the pig dog's locked onto my golems, and my golems are walking away. And there goes my archer queen just walking into the line of fire. And I'm like, way to go. So we watched the replay and got to thinking about it, and we're like, you know what? It'd probably be a good idea to shatter Goho this base. And I went to sleep, and I didn't get to see or be there to talk to anybody about the base. But by the time I woke up, sure enough, Itachi came through and shattered Goho the base and got a 3-star right off the rip. Pig dog was just floating around on hogs, not killing nothing. And I was like, see, that's all you needed.
Was it still alive at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome.
I think the pig dog stayed up the whole time.
I love it when they're still alive at the end. That's hilarious.
I was blown away by that part of it because I didn't think you could actually ignore the pig dog that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, it does so little damage that when it locks into a hog, the hogs are pretty tanky by themselves, and then they're running through heal spells the whole time. And what we had noticed when I did the shatter is that he had one double giant bomb right in front of the archer queen. So literally all he had to do was move one golem to on the other side of first base, and you're going to take out a double giant bomb set, and then the pig dog could follow a hog around, and it's never going to kill it. It was absolutely hilarious to watch the pig dog just fly around.
So you mean he had a double giant bomb set outside of the base?
No, it was in the archer queen compartment, like where you're going to jump into to kill the archer queen. There was a double giant bomb right in front of the archer queen.
Yeah. That's a great place for it. Great place. Everybody needs to do that.
Oh yeah, makes plenty of sense.
Everybody we attack, they need to do
that. Clams, Dizzy, what are you guys running in war? Are you guys doing the?
I actually had my first 3-star in L today, and I owe it all to RM, and it's shout out to RM because he went in without his king, and he had this amazing strategy on this base. It was a Govalo, and it was just to the T. He did everything perfect, and he just didn't have his king, and he got 95% on the base. So I came in today. I've been struggling a little bit, and so I came in late today trying to clean something up. And I saw that. I was like, well, I'm just going to do the exact same thing RM did and bring my king. And sure enough, I got it. But, I've been struggling because I've been doing Laloon, like Scrub, a lot of Shattered Laloon. And it's just a little tougher after the update. It used to be you would lightning the CC. It would be a witch, a couple wizards in there, and it really wouldn't be a big deal. But the dragon's giving us some trouble. And all the buildings have higher hit points now, which, I guess I'm just making excuses at this point, but it's been giving us some trouble. And so, if you
adjust everything subtly, everything's going to slow down on certain things. Everything's,
Right. And so I have been trying to adjust. And after last war, or I guess 2 wars ago, Smurf had 2 beautiful Valk attacks. And so I was like, you know what?
Nice.
I'm sick of this. And so I rage gemmed my Valks up to max. And sure enough, they helped me get my 3-star today. So definitely don't regret it.
You've basically been listening to the podcast with me in love with Valks. And you're going, why is he in love?
Oh.
And
They
now
are
I see.
definitely my favorite troop. They are definitely now my favorite troop, for sure.
Do you think it's underestimated at Town Hall 9?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Even I was
if you've noticed, if you watch a lot of the, more or less elite war clans out there in their videos, you'll see a lot of them doing the Valks now. And I think it's got something to do with the HP as well. The only big difference I saw that was different than the rest is after the update, you started seeing these bigger clans, they would take out so much of the base with their first push. A lot of stoned go-hos and stuff like that. And by the time they even send their hogs or their loons in or whatever, they've taken out a full third of the base. Maybe that's how they've been doing it this whole time. It didn't seem like it to me. It seemed like once they got the CC killing the queen, they could just, pick it apart.
They've got the munchies before they hit that backside of the base. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The stone go-ho. That's right.
Where's my Cheetos? Gotta deploy my hogs.
That's right. Wait a minute. What was I supposed to do? I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. How about you, Diz? What are you hitting with in war?
I have been running 3 golems and hogs and witches. And 2 wars ago, I had a good run, and last war wasn't so good.
And what are you looking for in those? You're going at the queen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, usually I start on the side with the queen, and like we were talking about earlier, the drags. When they come out, they just really mess me up, because I hate luring.
Yeah.
So with that poison spell, it's kind of a waste, right? So you're kind of, when your queen doesn't cooperate and locks onto buildings instead of the dragon,
it's a real bitch because, I've noticed that with the 10s, the ones. I think it was, obviously it was last war, but when you just can't lure, and that there's going to be a drag in there, or that's going to be something. It's like, how do you even compensate to take care of the dragon?
I was talking to Clams, and I figured out a way to deal with the dragon, and I haven't had any problems with the dragon since then. Literally, all I do is I bring a rage spell and I drop it on my Archer Queen because I have this extra one now that I don't need to use a lightning spell. So I drop a rage on my Archer Queen and I phase her. The dragon looks around at these archers. It never hits my Archer Queen. And now she's under rage too. And she takes 5 shots. It takes out the dragon. And I have no problems dealing with the dragons anymore.
I heard you guys say that in the chat, but I hadn't. Wow.
But for when you're running hogs, you need those 3 heal spells and the jump.
Right.
Yeah, and see, I think with hogs, if you lure, dragons don't kill the skellies fast enough. It'll spin there in a circle, and your Archer Queen can take it out that way. Is what I had done before. But if you're not going to lure, I honestly have no idea how you deal with a dragon.
If you lure.
No, if you
don't
lure.
Oh, if you don't lure, yeah.
Yeah, no, if you don't lure, I don't know how you deal with the dragon with hogs, and that's because I haven't played with hogs enough. And I've been meaning to ask RM about that because he's our Town Hall 9 resident hogger, him and Sass. So.
I love those hogs. Brittany just got the hogs.
RM had one of the most beautiful hog attacks I've ever seen. He had in this war.
Yeah, it was very nice looking holo.
It was so technical. I mean, halfway through the raid, he's still sending in, these one or two hogs, getting a defense, taking out a double giant bomb that's in the middle of the base. I mean, it was gorgeous.
And what about you, Clams? This is actually the quietest I've heard Clams in a long time.
I know.
What are you saying? Like in war, I mean, are you varying it up? I can't remember if it's.
I'm really trying to switch it up at this point because I've been struggling. I'm really feeling bad about it, so I'm going with the Valks. I'm going to try a couple hog attacks. I'm going to have to pick Diz's brain because I've seen quite a few good hog attacks coming out of him, and I'm just trying to get proficient at all the different attacks.
Well, and here's the thing. To be fair, is a lot of your attacks are the ones. They're like first up.
Right. Yeah, I've been going early, and this war I decided to come in and do both of them late. The timing has to do a lot with it as well. I'm working during the day.
Yeah.
So if we start a war and it's going to end at like 5 o'clock, 5:30, I have to do both attacks on the first night, which nobody likes to do.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so here's a question, because you guys were talking about this in TeamSpeak. About your idea for the Town Hall 9 base change-up.
Right. So this was kind of my idea, and it's still obviously a work in progress. All of our Town Hall 9s, for the most part, run anti-3-star bases, right?
Right.
And, we come up against clans. A lot of these clans from Asia are coming in and just 2-starring all the Town Hall 9s. And when you're going for 3 stars, a lot of the time it's going to end up in a 1-star. So in these tougher wars against these clans where we're outmatched, we're running into the problem where we're not 3-starring enough bases and they're 2-starring everybody. Like the 28 will come up in 3-star Smurf, who's the 12, that kind of thing. And so if we don't get all the 3 stars, having those anti-3-star bases is almost detrimental because they're going to come in and easily 2 stars with their low attacks and have their 10s come down. So, we were talking about the idea of maybe having some of the 9s switch to a base that protects their Town Hall a little better to see if that might work in some of these tougher wars.
Well, because, okay, so, and this is where you guys pay attention to things, a different, like, vision of the bases, because a lot of our bases, or not our bases necessarily, but the enemy bases have been max Town Hall 9s. Like
right.
Down to number, what was it, 31?
31 out of 35, yeah.
Same number of Town Hall 10s, right?
Yep, same number.
And then everything else below that was maxed. And so what the idea is to not let 32 be is equal, halfway through. So you do the anti-2 stars low, right? And then the anti-3 up top?
No,
anti-3. All the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we might not even implement this because against in an even match with L, like the war we're in right now it's coming down to the wire here. We're up 1 star at the moment. And we have, almost all the Town Hall 9s 3-starred here. So it wouldn't really come into play in one of these wars. But, one of the ones where our bottom 9s are 8.5s and their mirror is a max 9. We would have our higher guys who barely get 3-starred anyway, like Smurf and like Sass and Ricky Bobby, and we would have them put up anti-2-star bases just to make it harder for the enemy clan to come up and 2-star them.
And really make them wear out those attacks.
Right, yeah, because sometimes an anti-3-star base, they can come in and easily 2-star you on the first attack because it's not protecting against that. But an anti-2-star base, even, a terrible internet one, sometimes it'll take 3 attacks to 2-star. So it just really, it depends on who we're facing, but it could eat up a bunch more attacks. So we were talking about playing around with that.
Yeah, because the problem that I saw is
definitely something.
Yeah, because I'm smack in the middle of our 9s. Like I'm not a high or a low 9. I'm like a mid 9. But I have so many lava walls that most people don't really want to try to go wipe me. But I was running an anti-3-star base, and I got to looking, and I'm like, I'm getting 2-starred every war because my town hall is literally on the outside of my base. It's on the very edge of my base inside the walls. So they're using giants and archers and their heroes to get my town hall and basically barching the rest of my base for 50%. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Something needs to change with that. And, you got 5 people with bases like that, and that's 10 easy stars. And so they're having their low guys come up and 2-star our higher 9s so that their higher 9s can go down in 3-star our lower 9s. So ideally, against just like your average clan, it'd be better if your high 9s had anti-2-star bases and your low 9s had the anti-3-star ones. But, you don't want everybody to have to always have an anti-2-star base because, people want to build bases and try out different stuff. So we were thinking that it might be better if everybody has an anti-3-star base and an anti-2-star base and, just swap it up as people want to test their bases out and see. But, of course, if we run into a ranged matchup or something, everybody needs to have an anti-3-star base that they know is going to work or they feel confident in.
Yeah.
Well, it's a cool idea because now that it's not like you can build an anti-3 and you can build an anti-2, and then as we get into in a war, then you can just switch. I mean, it's not like the old days where you had to completely switch it up, like physically. I mean, you can
save them.
Yeah, and move it back and forth, and look at where troop levels are, because I think the thing with an anti-2-star base, you're also assuming. So you're playing the Town Hall 9 card, but not every Town Hall 10 is going to come down in 3-star. Right. And even if you can eat up some of those, even like 1 or 2 Town Hall 10 attacks, instead of them going for, maybe the 3rd star, it might look like, okay, this one has 2 and they only get 2 available, then they only get 2.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, this all started. Go ahead, Scrub.
I was just going to say, especially for the 9s, like we look at like the war wins and stuff for the other clan, and it's not hard, especially for the Town Hall 9s, to tell if we think that they're going to try to 3-star or not, because basically the first thing that we do when we get a war, are they running anti-2-star bases, and how high are their heroes? If they're running anti-3s and they've got high heroes, then obviously we need our 9s to have anti-3-star bases. But when we look at the 9s and it's like, okay, they've got 29s, and out of those 29s, 6 are running the general, probably should put up some anti-2-star bases. Because they're probably not going to be 3-starring.
What is the general?
It's the most
really
popular
crappy
Town Hall 9
internet base.
What is it? Because I don't look at the internet bases. I mean, I guess I see them all the time, but can you talk about what the general is? But like for people
when we
who
see
listen,
another one in a war, I'll point it out to you because you'll look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the 9s have this base." I don't think there's any in this war that have it though.
No, last war one of the highest guys had it though.
Is it like a centered town hall or is it?
Yeah, it's an anti-2-star base, and at Town Hall 9. All these internet bases, there's so many of them, way more than at Town Hall 10. So it's really easy to memorize them all, basically. Like, I know all of them. The second I see it, I know exactly what it's called. I know how people usually 3-star it.
And if one were going to look up an internet base, where would one go?
Well, I guess I'll
and you'll get like 20 YouTube hits.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you can just Google the name of the base. The General, the Taylor, another popular one, Split Walls, and those are just 3 of the most popular ones off the top of my head. But there's actually a website, Gaddy, who was in Crystal Warrior. I don't know if he still is. He has a part of his website called Base Beat, where he posts a bunch of videos about how to 3-star all the most popular bases at all Town Hall levels, but obviously the most abundant is 9.
Yeah, I think the Hulk Files had something on that too, but I think most of that was post-update. But still, most of that probably still applies to today. So,
and an anti-3, because a lot of people, I mean, not everybody listening knows, and it took me a while to get it. Anti-3 versus anti-2. The anti-3 is playing the Town Hall as a high HP building. The
Town Hall is just it's the highest HP building on your base, You you put it somewhere where it's going to be really detrimental for the attacker to go in there and take it out, and you're not worrying about it. Like on my current base, which I built pretty recently and I'm testing out, my town hall is in the compartment where my queen is, because anyone who's going to try a 3-star is going to come in and try and take the queen, and I'm just trying to make it as difficult as possible, put as much DPS and as much HP in their way as I possibly can. So as opposed to all the internet bases, which are anti-2-star bases with the town hall protected, you're throwing that protection to the wind to protect against the 3-star.
And also the clan castle is it the other highest?
Yeah, the DE storage is actually the second highest.
It is, huh?
At max at Town Hall 9. And then the clan castle. And so what you do with the clan castle is you centralize it and you make it, near impossible to lure. On a lot of these internet bases, you could lure by just dropping a giant who's going to walk to the wall and be within the clan castle radius. But on the anti-3-stars, you got your clan castle centered, right? So they have to take out a defense if they're really trying to lure, which makes it a lot more costly for the attacker.
Would it be good then to put the Dark Elixir storage right next to the clan castle?
You kind of want to put it somewhere where you don't want your attacker to go, like in the queen compartment kind of thing, or blocking an air defense that you don't want them to take out. You don't really want to centralize your high HP buildings. The clan castle you're centralizing just so it's really hard to lure the defensive troops.
Honestly, I had no idea about the Dark Elixirs. I knew the other the storages are high, right? And you can use them as buffers, but I didn't know that it's higher than the CC.
Right. So I'm looking at it right now. The Town Hall 9 Town Hall has 4,600, which is far and away the highest. The Dark Storage has 3,200 hit points, and the Clan Castle has 3,000 even hit points. So it's only 200 more than the Clan Castle, but still, it's the second highest.
And I'm looking at...
Yeah, I think on Town Hall 10, after y'all upgrade your Clan Castle, it jumps up just 200 more hit points above the DE storage.
Okay, so the Clan Castle's 3,400 at TH10, 3,200 on the
Dark. So at Town Hall 10, the Clan Castle is the second highest.
Yeah, 5,500. But, and it's hard, I think, in our wars, especially with the mixed is you really on 10s, you're not going to have to, because you've got so many 9s, you've got 10s, you're not going for the 3, you're trying for a 3 on a 10, but the likelihood of that actually happening is not going to happen. And then it's only 2,100 on the gold storages. Man, that's a huge, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a really big jump. And on the good anti-3-star bases that you see on Twitch and against arranged matchups that you find and that you make for yourself, you'll notice that a lot of people strategically start putting those places. That way, if you're going to come through and get an air defense or the Archer Queen, you're going to have to hit one of those high, preferably 2 at one time. And it really, really slows an attack down. Because when you sit back and think about it,
yeah,
everybody in the game snipes town halls. How long does it take you to sit there and snipe a town hall without using the Archer Queen ability? It takes forever. You will sit there and wait for 20 seconds almost. So can you put the town hall and the DE storage there? You got to hit both of those before you could even start taking out key defenses. It really, really gives your defenses and your point defenses and such a chance to cheat through golems and then target the Archer Queen before she can do any real damage.
Well, even I noticed this, I think it was hitting T-skits, those clan castles that are just pushed out a little bit. So if you kind of make your base go, okay, I want them to come from this way. This is going to be the most appealing. And you have that clan castle out just one space off of the clan castle. That queen's going to get there and she's going to hit the CC first. Right. And so everything else is going to be targeting her. So if you can kind of, I guess, round your base a little bit where you can make those high hit points, even if it's just a space off or where you normally get hit with. I'm doing that with my Infernos a little bit. I noticed in the push that a lot of the people were using the Dark Elixir storage. So that way, so if you're pushing and you're doing ground, you're going to be burning up a lot of DE. and they might have a lot of DE sitting there, but they'd have the DE sitting there where 2 Infernos were going to be targeting whatever's hitting it at the same time. And then the queen on the other side. So it's like, well, if you want the queen, you have to go in this way, but if you want the dark elixir, you have to come in this way. And I just started really avoiding those bases. Because I'm like, okay, I need the DE. How do I get the DE and the town hall? And if possible, avoid the queen.
Right.
Instead of necessarily just like taking her out. Because I think that's everybody's like mindset now is like, take the queen out. But a lot of times if you look at some of the bases, if you can come through the back way, the queen might not even be able to hit your troops until they're through the town hall. And then I'm not wasting as much. And I guess it's the 2-star strategy. But if she's going to be around like an Inferno, I don't have to necessarily deal with her. And I think a lot of people have that mindset. Okay, they're definitely go for my queen first. And so you can kind of play that side of the game, of also what they're expecting or what they see all the time.
Right.
Yeah, definitely for a Town Hall 10, I would say if you don't have max heroes and you're going up against a Town Hall 10 that's got like an anti-2-star base, and you're not trying to 3-star, I wouldn't go anywhere near the Archer Queen. Like, there's no reason to ever go to her side of the base. Because the thing that I've noticed with the Town Hall 10s compared to the Town Hall 9s is when you were talking about the CC being off by space, the Archer Queen targets it first. Most Town Hall 9s have very ununiform bases now because they're starting to custom build them because they've noticed that the internet bases, it looks so nice to have them symmetrical, but you can literally plot out a path because everything is lined up that you could drop a ruler down and everything's even. And so now we started to like have stuff gutted out where it's not even and looks a little bumpy. The path's a little bit harder to find. But Town Hall 10s in War, for the most part, a lot of them still use internet bases. And so it's a little bit easier to come in and hit from a flat side.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Town Hall 9, you might drop a golem and you think it's going to bang against a wall. But that one cannon that's a little bit farther down that you thought was out of the way, but it's actually moved forward, that golem's going to walk off to that cannon and you're like, oh crap, now my golem's not in the right spot.
It can be rough. People are doing a lot of crazy stuff.
That's what makes the game fun, though.
Yeah. It's like you look at some of the things, you're like, okay, I try not to even look until war. I look at, we declare war, I look at my straight across, and I go, where are the heroes? And that's about it. Like, defenses don't really, matter that, but you can kind of tell what type of base they are, too. Like, if they're really hard to lure. And then I don't even look at it, because I'm like, they might change it. So I want to get it out of my head.
And that really bites when you spend hours, discussing a base and tactics and all this kind of stuff, and you literally war starts and you go look at it and you're like, well, shit. All right, I guess I got to completely start from scratch. It's no fun. Yeah.
So how do you guys plan out your attacks? I mean, where do you guys start? Like advice to 9s, or anybody.
Get your Valks. Get your Valks up.
So basically, for Town Hall 9 3-star attacks, it's getting more diverse with the Queen Walk kind of thing that we were talking about earlier. But I'd say generally there's only a certain few types of hybrid attacks that you're going to use. You got your Goho and your Go Laloon and your throw your Valks in there as well. And so what we do is the second the war hits, and I know that Pap and Scrub and Diz do that too, you're looking at all the 9s on the opposite team, and you're thinking, all right, which of these can I bring my strong attack against? Like, Diz is the Hogs guy, so he's looking at all the bases, like, which one is my favorite base that I can hog right out of these? Which am I most comfortable hitting with Hogs and I know I'm going to get? And so then we get on the Clash caller real quick, and we call it, and we get on TeamSpeak and start talking with each other, and everyone's helping each other scout the bases, because one person alone is going to miss some stuff. So you got the rest of us on there. Like, are you sure you want to come in from this way? Have you thought about if there's a Tesla there, what you're going to do, stuff like that?
And we all look for our separate. Diz looking for giant bomb locations. Scrub, he's seeing, how many air defenses can I take out by the queen. I'm wanting a big open core because I'm wanting to get my Valks in there. And it's really nice that our clan is so diversified because, we all do have our favorite go-to attack. So it's really nice just to, you call the good ones first, the low-hanging fruit. And I don't mean low on the war map. I just mean, like, why the hell does this guy have his base like that? Those are the good ones you grab. And I have to say, whenever I was way back in the day listening to the podcast, even back then, you were screaming, how do we get these matchups? And I always kind of wondered if maybe you were exaggerating a little bit. I can tell you, you are not. Now that I've joined, we get some of the biggest head scratchers. Just like how in the world did Supercell think that we are at all a match? And it really, I think it makes us better. Because no war we're in is a blowout. None of the wars that when we lose, they usually come down to 1 or 2 stars. But Mailman said it the other day, equal matchups equal L wins. And it really does. As long as I've been in the clan, we have not lost a pretty equal matchup yet. And that's awesome. I really like that.
Yeah, even back in the day, even when we were, and this was like even before it was, I think the war algorithm has helped, with the walls and the heroes.
Yeah.
But even back then, we were still eking really close on a like we'd win or we'd get really close to a win most of the time. Very few times it was just like a complete blowout. But you hear that a lot, don't you? Like when new people come to the clan, they're like, oh wow. Especially like what was it last war or 2 wars ago? We had no TH. We had 4
oh my God.
TH8s and they had 0.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And the 10s, we had 12 10s. And it was funny because it was 2 wars back to back. The first war, we had 12 10s and they had 18. But the difference was most of the lower 10s had some Town Hall 8 defenses and then a lot of 9 defenses, but they all had Inferno towers. And we actually won that one. It was close, but we won it. And then the very next war, we got 17 Town Hall 10s, and every one of them had max Town Hall 9 defenses plus Inferno towers. And actually, my mirror actually had Town Hall 10 defenses and Inferno towers. And then they had no 8s, and we had like 4 8s.
Yeah.
And you're just looking like what are we going to do here? And even that war, even that war was pretty close. It was within 5 stars, I think.
Yeah, you go and look at the war log. It's like, and a lot of times what happens, even when it's like that close, the score might look like 5 on the board, but it was because those we were like maybe within 1 or 2 up until that point, and they've got a couple attacks on, and we gamble on hitting this one. Because we need to jump that thing. So it's like it might be super, super close. And then it jumps by just a couple because we'll gamble on the stuff. Well, there's that one that was, they smacked. That was a rough one. 80 to 67.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
there's been a few of those lately where, and I think, was it post update? Is that right I think that's right when we notice a difference because the difference in the HP.
I think every 9 noticed the fact that their queen went from stupid to stupider, and then I think it might have been RM mentioned it first because he was doing hogs. I think he noticed that it took longer for the hogs to get through the base, and I didn't really catch on to it. But I do loons, and so I was used to looking like, okay, this is going to take 2 loons. This is going to take 2 loons. It's like 3. And the first time I did that and the defense stayed standing, I was like, what the fuck did Supercell just do? Like, they screwed me hard. I think I got
after
no
update,
stars that war.
Right after update, I had 4 in 2 wars. I had 4 either 0 or 1 stars. And I did 4 either cold-blooded or shattered. And some of those attacks, I would get done with attack and I would come on TeamSpeak and I'd be like, all right, guys, like what the fuck happened? Everything went right. And, we would have guys look at it and they're like, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
You got the 2 here. You had 3 pig dogs going to the last ARD. Your rages were fine, and we're just like, how are all those defenses still standing? And we're finally starting to adapt and bring some different attacks, and we're back on track.
Well, it kind of shows about how precision,
now, so.
like because when you guys are figuring out that plan, you've got, like you said, like just a couple loons for this. You're trying to maximize all your troops, and then that little bit of that changes, and not to and this is the. Do we want to talk about a bad queen? Clams last war.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. I've never seen that.
Screwed you both ways, offense and defense.
Inside the jump
yes.
offensively, and she goes out to shoot storage on the outside instead of going in and helping with everybody else. And then she decides, instead of jumping back into the core with the jump spell that's still there, she's just going to jog up against the wall and not move for about 15 seconds. And then the jump spell fades, and she starts to shoot a wall and gets instantly taken down.
She was stuck in the wall, though.
In the wall, yeah. She was just jogging next to a wall, not doing anything. Enough time for the golem to go down, and then she couldn't get in and take out the secondary defense. And then on defense, my queen, the classic queen getting stuck on the Tesla and not moving for the whole raid, which was supposed to be fixed. And luckily I didn't get 3-starred, but it was still tough.
That was rough. Well, we are about at an hour 15. We should probably wrap up. Also, because we are 38 minutes left in the war, and it's tied 66-66.
Yes.
We have 2 more attacks. They have 5, but they're boxed out. They have 2 up high, so it's going to come down to like a very tight thing.
And we're all 2-starred up and down the base except for Phantom. So they're going to have to get a couple 3-stars here because they've hit Phantom a few times, and I doubt they're going to try him again. They might.
And this is where and Papa, you haven't been 3-starred, right? Or
man, it has, and I got to give a shout out to Sadorn from Zoaz. Unfortunately I was not able to participate in the Zoaz war because just number wise. Either that or Scrub didn't want me in, one or the other. No, I'm just kidding. They just couldn't get my mirror, so I got to sit out and spectate. And man, I was watching some of our best attackers trying to hit his base, and he's got an odd setup. He's got the queen on one side of the base, but then on the other side, he's got this little section where he's got 4 Teslas all bunched up right around an area.
Oh, whoa, hey,
king.
Whoa.
Smurf. You know, he's got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not going to go
Hold on
into
a second
it.
here.
And
it's like Soaz is going to be in a arranged matchup. Don't give away secrets. Hold on a second here.
That's good call. Good call. Anyway, and there's some. There's some other stuff, but and let me after I saw how many times we hit it and couldn't get it, I was like, that's awesome, and I've been using it ever since. And I think I've defended like 8 or 9 times against Town Hall 10s. Not a 0, but they've not gotten the 3-star. I have had a few 0s on it. But, man, I absolutely love that base. I love it. So, thank you. I kind of have a Clash crush on Sadorn. I listen to those Zoaz podcasts, and he seems like he does some pretty ridiculous stuff over there. So
yeah, he was awesome in that war. And a ridiculously tough base. Him and Thunder, I think it was. MC,
Thunder. That
MC was in
one.
Both, right? No, wait, you were only on one side, right?
Yeah, I ended up in Soaz, but normally I'm in both clans.
Yeah. Who are Soaz going up against? Or can you say, or is it kind of...
I'm not a co-leader or even an elder in Soaz. I'm just being a fly on the wall. But they're trying to arrange a matchup with someone's feeder clan. So...
Oh, cool.
I think, actually, we might be trying to do that. What is today? Thursday? Saturday night, we might be trying to do that. It's either this Saturday or next Saturday we might be trying to do that.
Cool. It kind of gives you a little bit... I hope it works because the matchup did go, based on the numbers, and you guys spent a lot of time doing that. But if it works again, then you start to go, okay, maybe... Then it's proven once again, and then it becomes more realistic. Especially in a mixed clan. Like it's just doing 9s and 10s. Do you know?
I don't know full details on that. The co-leaders in SOAS are doing a really good job handling that.
Cool.
The only reason I ended up in the last one was because I happened to be in L and SOAS. So
Yeah.
and now I'm kind of being quiet and just watching and trying to see what all they're using. That way, if the matchup works, it'll just be another thing that I can throw in the pot for us to try in case L wants to do another matchup.
Yeah. And I really want to try matching up with Kent Farmhouse.
Yes.
Because I think we're very similar in terms of numbers, where it wouldn't be like a huge thing. But also, I think they feel the same way about sitting people as I do. So, like, unless it was going to be an almost certain thing and only a few people were sitting, or even I guess if we moved people around, that wouldn't be a big deal because we've warred with each other many times. And a lot of us were there, or people from L are there now. And it'd be fun. It was like the SOAS matchup. It was really a nice collaboration getting together. Well, do you guys have any shout outs? And, here's the thing too, is like, I think we're going to be doing some twitching stuff because we have the team speak now. And I think it'd be really cool, honestly. Like if you think it's really cool to watch these guys strategize and they have a completely different perspective on attacks as TH9s, in the thick of it. So we're going to be doing some twitching, with House of L coming up. So, send in questions too, because it's with the TeamSpeak stuff, it's a lot easier to just record, like with the twitching stuff, send in some of your questions about some of the stuff, because I can answer TH8 stuff now, but a lot of times the TH9 stuff is really difficult because it's been a long time. So it's really cool to like see your guys' perspective on all that. Shout outs.
Yeah, I got two. I'm going to give a shout out to Dizzy and Tip. Welcome back to L. Nice to have y'all back. Y'all were here when I got here. So, and then a big shout out to DP and Big Fry. They have begun the long, tedious journey to Town Hall 10 Go La Loon. They started that tonight. Been watching some of the replays that they posted up there. So that should be interesting. I wish them luck with that. Hopefully, we'll be able to help them out with that as they try to do that.
Hopefully, DP doesn't kill anybody. Who's over in He's over in Ice Ice Baby 2 today, watching replays, trying to crack that the air stuff as Guns talked about.
Yeah, very very exciting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I won't be doing that. Big shout out to Spaceman also for co-leader.
Yes.
Couldn't be
very,
here.
Very, very cool guy.
Yeah. Just this Papa in space this week, so big shout out. Other shout out to MC?
No, those were it.
Okay.
Just DP and Big Fry, and then welcome back, Tip and Dizzy.
Thanks, man.
Diz?
Go
Papa.
ahead, Diz. I was going to say, I'll go ahead and shout out Itachi. He hasn't been in the clan long, but man, he's really bringing some fresh stuff to the table. Was he from Holland?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's where he said. He's got a little, his accent, he's got an accent, but it's coming across loud and clear. So we're definitely glad to have him.
I see you guys have been doing some sketch, or he's been doing some sketch stuff too.
Yes, I mean, he's very, very quick with them. Yes, he can say, hold on just 1 second. You go check the line app, and boom, there it is.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Because I even saw it today with Clams, like he suggested bringing in a giant. And we didn't talk about it afterwards, Clams, but when we were watching it live, we were like, wow, that giant works super good.
It was perfect, yeah.
Yeah. Other shout outs, Papa?
Nope, that's it.
Diz?
Yeah. Shout out to the whole clan for like great donations. Like I love it, especially Clams. You killed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing we didn't even mention.
You killed it, and I was trailing you. And actually, when I seen you in 7,000, I just gave up.
Oh yeah, and now, okay, wait, your number is not current right now, right, Clams? Because you lost?
I lost about 2,000.
Because you left, right?
I went to give my brother a lava hound real late one night. None of his clan members were on. And I had known about the donation competition, so I was starting early. Currently, I'm sitting at 9,186, and it started last Wednesday.
And it's so what happened with the push is DP said, if anybody beats me, I'll give him $25. I said, I'll give the top 9, 10, and big fish. Yeah. Just frying fish. Fish said, I'll give it 10 for the highest donation. And we cannot donate in the clan anymore because Clams is always there.
Yeah.
Shoving things in our CCs.
Yeah, no, the only time we get to donate is if we have loons. He doesn't keep those on stock because he's running that Super Queen.
Oh, yeah, it's always nice when he's on. I got a golem in that CC.
Yeah. It's been crazy. Like, even looking at some of these donations, I mean.
Yeah, I just looked. I thought I had highest troops received, but Diz got me beat on that. I was trying to help. I was just trying to help out, just help people donate,
And Diz is about even, too.
Yeah.
4,500 and 4,600. You can tell how busy rating we've all been this.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
It was fun though. It was a cool week to like everybody super active. It was exhausting, but then also it was all. I feel better. Just even like in the war, understanding my troops a little bit better, like in their behavior in extreme situations.
Yeah.
Other shout-outs, Diz?
No, that's pretty much it. Just like I said, the whole clan, it's great. Just donations are great. Everyone's friendly.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
How about you, Clams?
I'm going to give a shout-out to Fish, Big Fish. We actually, I found out about a week ago, Fish and I joined on the same day. He was about an hour before me. So, I came in, so obviously I didn't know that he just joined. And so we got a fish and a clam on the same day. A couple of secret fish. So shout out to Big Fish. And then I'm going to give a special shout out to Wade because he's always cracking me up on TeamSpeak.
Oh, yeah. 50 Shades of Weight, right?
Yeah, that's a big announcement.
Yeah.
50 Shades of Weight.
The wait is over, and he's now 50 Shades of Weight.
Yeah.
I still think that's just awesome. And every time he shows up, he walks in and says, "Suck it," basically. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. I was exhausted yesterday. Other shout-outs, Clams?
That'll do it. I'm really happy to be in the clan.
Cool.
I love all you guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun, and I think we'll be starting up the Twitch stuff. More information about that will be coming because. I learned a lot from you guys, every war. So, and that was another, because, you hear about it like on the other podcasts and people talking about pushing and, where it fits in terms of war. The replays are awesome. Seeing what people can do, because normally it's just those two attacks. And so even just happy accidents, use the earthquake while you can, because it will be nerfed, I'm sure, in the future, because I love it. And that's what I rocked the push with, was instead of jumps, earthquakes, two freeze in a rage.
Yeah, it is beautiful to see those things just rip through them walls.
Oh,
it is really nice.
And how big and open. And if you,
Yes.
here's just kind of, I've said this on Twitter, and we've kind of talked about why do the thing, because why upgrade it. And here's my prediction, my kind of the way I've got to get better at using this, just like a side note to this podcast, is that if you think about it in terms of taking walls and being able to hit high hit point buildings all at the same time, you're going to save your heroes a few seconds. So or Infernos, Clan Castle, that type of stuff. I think that's where we're going to see the benefit. So
I think they talked about it on the Clash Files. What is it? You can drain a building by 50%. If that building is the town hall, well, good Lord, that's 5,000 hit points. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah, so if it was half of a town hall and you're at 2,500, My king, I think, hits at 250 DPS a second. So you can imagine how many seconds, I could save with my troops.
Exactly.
So I think that's going to be key with lower hero.
Yes.
People with lower heroes. So we'll see, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I got one last shout out. I just remembered. Today is Natalia's birthday.
Yeah.
That's right.
So happy birthday, little mother, from the House of L.
Yes. The first lady of Clash, fantastic person. Hops into TeamSpeak, says hi. And
yes. So,
yeah, happy birthday to Natalia.
Really digging the Clash files. It's really, really digging it.
Yes. Yeah. It's always it kills me because I can't talk back to them. So
I know.
I hopped on TeamSpeak. Is Rancid still in there? I have to talk to him about what I was just listening to. All right. Well, thanks guys for being here. I'm sure you'll be hearing from them in the future. You can get a hold of me at Scotty827 on Twitter or at WBSMT Radio. That's at W Basement. Get it? WBSMT Radio. That's the official Twitter announcements. ClashGunsPodcast.com. You can find out all the contact information there, and then information about all the clans, and links to Ken Farmhouse, Zod, all the clans in the family. So, congrats! Oh, one other shout out. Congrats to Cadmus on their winning streak. It did come to an end this week, but what a great group of guys. Worked really good. I can't remember what the final count was. 60,
56.
maybe 56. Amazing streak.
That is amazing.
Worked really well together. And really tough wars. And the thing about it all, I think that was just amazing. Over and above was how classy they were about winning and being a great clan and welcoming to everybody. And so, yeah, big shout out to those guys. They get to start their new one.
I get to go visit them now.
Awesome.
Now that I'm not going to end a winning streak.
You know how many,
Pressure's off.
you know how many
right.
DP said that too. He's just like, oh, now I can go visit without, worrying. I think that's a lot of people's sentiment. So, well, thanks guys. And keep it clashy.
Thanks.
You guys can say keep it clashy if you want.
Keep it clashy.
Keep it clashy.
There we go.
Keep it clashy and fuck you, Bendel.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.